got stranded in the middle of nowhere in California after our final show on the 8 Letters tour. Hey guys, it's Jessica. Welcome back to my channel, and do I have a story for you today? First off, before we get into this video, if anyone's curious about why my voice sounds a little strange, I mean, it keeps on going in and out of like, it sounds normal, it doesn't sound normal. I feel like it doesn't sound normal right now. Probably does. I just went to 3 Why Don't We shows and went to Disneyland and had a great grand old time, but my voice is a little gone and it's a little coarse from popping off. I'm going to be telling you a story, a horror story, of how we got stranded in the middle of nowhere in California after our final show on the 8 Letters tour. So basically, for all of you who don't know, I am a fan of Why Don't We. I'm wearing my hoodie right now. I still have the sticker on it because Corbin said it's cool. Like, they got me hooked. Like, no pun intended, but like pun intended. But anyways, me and my 2 friends, Cassidy and Taylor, we really like Why Don't We? And we decided that we wanted to go see some of the summer shows, and our only way to do that was to travel for the shows. So, that's what we did. We decided to go to California, and we attended the Costa Mesa show, San Diego show, and the Las Vegas show in Nevada. We decided to also go to Disneyland while we were there because like Costa was like 30 minutes away from Disney, and I absolutely love Disney, plus one of my really good friends works there, so we got to go visit her, who I haven't seen since March, so it was just a great, fantastic time for the most part. We had a little bit of issues along the way as our alarm didn't go off one morning, so we had to like run for a flight, and our Greyhound, we were going to miss it because our Uber driver took forever, and then it was late and we thought we missed it, but we all made it there on time. Everything was just kind of like, that could have been bad, but it wasn't bad. Everything just kind of worked out, and it was just going not necessarily smoothly, but working out in the best way until it wasn't. Now, we decided that we wanted to go from LAX to Anaheim. We took an Uber there, spent 3 nights in Anaheim, went to Disney for a day, and then went to the Costa show the last day we were in Anaheim. And the next morning we woke up and went for a Greyhound to go to San Diego. So that's what we did. San Diego. The next morning we got on a plane and flew to Las Vegas. Went to the Las Vegas show. Everything was just great. We had the time of our lives. Went to 3 amazing shows. They're so talented. We love the shows. They're awesome. We were sad that they're over. Trying to figure out a way to go to the next show because 3 just wasn't enough. We wanted to go to the 4th show in Paso, and it was at a fair, so we thought it would be really fun. Go to the fair. It's another outdoor venue because it was really fun because 2 of ours were outdoor venues. We're like, let's go again. It'll be great. But that obviously didn't happen because things decided to go downhill from after the show. So we waited and waited and waited in the lobby of the hotel in Vegas. We had just checked out. The boys were staying at the same hotel that we were staying at, which just happened to be the same hotel the venue was at. So we just hung around the lobby all night, hung around the hotel, had a great time. Saw the boys, talked to them for a little bit. Saw them the morning of, said bye to them. Everyone except for Daniel, because Daniel decided to skirt away and not chat with us, so thanks, boy. But we head over to the Greyhound station, get on our Greyhound at 3:40 p.m. It's actually a little bit late, like it didn't leave at 3:40, it was supposed to leave at 3:40, it left at like 4. So we finally are pulling away, we're driving, there's a ton of traffic, but you know, it was going okay. It was fine. Air conditioning wasn't really working, it was kind of an old bus, the Wi-Fi didn't work, it was just like, kind of sucks, but like whatever. We're using Taylor's data to try and figure out a way to get to Paso for the next show in a day from now. It's all going fine. The lady decides that she wants to sit beside me instead of sit behind Taylor and Cass, so then I have to stand up and let her in while the bus is barreling down the highway, so like that was kind of like, why are you doing this? You're sitting next to like your mom or like your sister or like your aunt or whoever it was, some old lady you were sitting next to that you were with. Why did you want to move away from her? But whatever, fine, I'll take my seat, which has my bag on it, and I'll move it so you can sit next to me, but like, weird that you split up like you guys. I don't know. Whatever, I was just kind of annoyed because then I had bags all over my lap instead of on the seat, so it's kind of like, this sucks, but whatever. So, that's also important of why, that's an important aspect of the story. Just keep that in mind, that I have my bag on my lap or on top of my feet the entire time. It is important. So basically, we were driving along, taking forever. We were looking and we're like, why are we still so far away? We're supposed to be there at 9:45. Like, there's no way we're going to be there for 9:45. We really had to go to the bathroom. We were getting hungry, so we ended up, our bus stopped at a gas station. So we all got out of the gas station, went to the washroom, grabbed some snacks. The line was huge, so I ended up going back to the bus before, and Cass and Taylor ended up staying in line, buying their stuff and then meeting me on the bus. I just wanted to make sure that like the bus didn't leave. But before the bus left, the driver went inside the gas station, made a huge announcement, yelled at everyone, made sure that everyone was on the bus, loaded everyone back in, and then we were on our way. That's also important to the story. But one thing that I found weird when we did stop at the gas station is he did not do a head count when we left the bus or when we got back on. So you could leave the bus and the driver could have no idea who left and who got back on, and you could just leave and there could be people left behind, or people could have joined on. Someone from the gas station who is homeless could have jumped in the bus and the driver wouldn't have known because he was just like chilling off to the side smoking. So you could have had like random people gotten on the bus, not have gone through like their security thing, not have paid for a ticket. So way to go, Greyhound, for being very safe. Anyways, we're back on the bus. We're driving. It's taken forever, and finally we get to our next stop. This is hours later. We still had about 2.5 hours, I believe, in the bus. It was only supposed to be like a 7-hour drive, I think, and it took, I think it was going to take about 9 hours to get there. Supposedly. Supposed to be. We did not arrive there in 9 hours. I'm getting angry just thinking about this. We pull up to Barstow, California, the bus depot there. There is a McDonald's, a Panda Express, some other, maybe like a fake Subway thing, an ice cream place or something. Little tiny like knick-knack stores all inside this little like bus depot place, and the Greyhound office is attached to it. Across the street there's a, what was it, a Jack in the Box, I think, maybe something else. I don't remember what it was, but it was some sort of thing across the street from it. There's also a gas station, and then I'm pretty sure that was like it around us. We didn't see anything else. There's a train that was very loud, bunch of desert looking land. It was very, very hot out. So when we initially got on the bus, they made an announcement as we were pulling away saying we had a 15-minute stop for a snack break where we stopped at the gas station, and a 35-minute stop in Barstow, California for a meal break. That would give us enough time to go to the washroom, grab some food, eat it, and get back in the bus. Perfect, right? We thought so too. It wasn't. We pull up and the bus driver says, "Hi guys, alright, so we're gonna be here till 8:20, you have your 35-minute meal break, 8:20, make sure everyone's back in the bus by then, meal break, go ahead." We're like, great, you know, it's our meal break, 35 minutes, like, it says right in our itinerary, when we booked our ticket, it says our itinerary on it, our different stops, 35 minutes in Barstow, California. I grabbed my bag because the lady did not want to leave the bus. She was like sound asleep, wasn't leaving. I'm like, I'm not gonna leave my bag here. If my seat was empty, I would leave it on the seat, but I'm not leaving it on the floor, and I don't want to leave it on the seat next to her because she's half sitting in my seat. So I grabbed my bag, put it on my back, and headed to the bus. Now, Cassidy and Taylor did not grab their bags. They grabbed their purses because they had them from earlier on in Vegas. I did not. I just decided to keep my backpack because why not? And I put the rest of the stuff in my suitcase. They had their purses out, had their wallets and their phones, and that was it. So we get off the bus and head into this bus depot, go to McDonald's. We order our food, which took quite a while to actually get our food. We're sitting at the thing looking up. This is another thing. I brought my laptop in, especially because I wanted to look up buses and planes and all transportation in order to get to Paso for the next day. And honestly, don't know if I would have brought my bag. I probably would have left it with the lady if we weren't looking that up. But we decided to look it up and be crackheads, so I brought my bag in because I wanted my laptop. Also a good thing I did that. So we're sitting at the table eating at McDonald's. I'm like, okay, we have like 15 minutes till the bus leaves. Like, let me run to the washroom. I ran to the washroom, came back, Cass did the same thing. It was now 8:15. The bus was leaving at 8:20. So we got up, left the table, threw out our garbage, and walked outside. The door was about 2 seconds away. We were outside by 8:16. And I'm looking, and we don't see the bus. And Cass is like, where did the bus go? And my instinct is, it must have moved. Maybe they needed to go to the gas station. Maybe they needed something else. Maybe the bus moved. Let me run around the building. So then there's me running around the building. Taylor's following me, freaking out. Cass is like, the bus left. The bus left us. Like, what are we gonna do? So I quickly ran around the building. Sure enough, the bus was nowhere to be found. So we're like, it's now only 8:17. I ran around the building. The bus is supposed to leave till 8:20. Where the hell is our bus? So instantly, we have a Cass getting angry and a Taylor freaking out. And so then there's me. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to be the calm one. So instantly, like, mama mode kicked in. I'm like, I gotta be the calm one. I gotta figure this out. So I'm like, I saw a lady inside the little depot place with the Greyhound shirt on that was wandering around. Let me see if I can find her. So I ran back inside the building, and keep in mind, this building closes at 9 p.m. Also another important aspect of the story. Run inside, couldn't see the lady. So we find someone who's working there, and she looks at us, and she can tell that we're panicked. And we're like, we can't find our bus. Where did it go? It wasn't supposed to leave till 8:20. And at this point, it wasn't even 8:20 yet. So we go outside, and she's like, yep, the bus isn't here. And instantly, Taylor starts freaking out. She starts crying. Cass starts crying. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. This isn't good. We're in Barstow, California. We are 2 hours away from Anaheim where we need to be. What are we going to do? Like, this is the last bus out tonight. We booked the last bus out so we could have the most time in Vegas. What do we do? So instantly I'm like, it's okay. Like, you know, we just get a Greyhound or we can always get an Uber. Like, we'll figure it out. We're going to get home. Not that big a deal. I have my bag. I have my passport. I have my money. It's going to be okay. We'll get their stuff back. We'll all work it out. We all have our phones. There's a little bit of battery left in all of them. It'll all be fine. But I was the only one that was feeling that way. The other two were freaking out. I'm like, this is not good. Like, what's happening? I have a bit of live footage of when we first found out. I'll insert that now.
There's no time.
We just started laughing. Cass at first started laughing before anything else because I was just like, no, this can't be happening right now. This cannot be happening. Like, there's no way this happened to us. So sure enough, the lady comes back out with the Greyhound lady and she was cleaning. So she opens up the thing, she types some stuff in her computer, and Taylor goes up to the microphone before she can even like open it up and starts spieling to her like, our bus left us, we need our bus, where did our bus go, blah, 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 blah. They said 8:20, and the lady opens it back up. She's like, yes, yes. Well, what do you think we're here for? Why else would we be talking to the Greyhound station if we close soon? Like, why do you think we're here? What do you think our issue is right now? You see us panicked. What do you think the issue is? What do you think our problem is, huh? Like, what? And so we explained to her, our bus isn't here. And she's like, yeah, your bus left. And we're like, what do you mean it left? Wasn't supposed to leave till 8:20. We had a 35-minute meal break, like you said when we got on the bus and like we said when we got off the bus. What do you mean it left us? And she's like, I made an announcement about 5 minutes ago saying that the bus was leaving. Like, we never heard any announcement. We were sitting in McDonald's, which was attached to the bus depot place. Like, what do you mean you made an announcement? We didn't hear anything. We didn't have any headphones on. We weren't even talking. Like, I was in the bathroom, so maybe I didn't hear it because I was in the bathroom. But, like, if it's a bus depot place where people are stopping to get some food, to get meal breaks, people go to the washroom. So, why can't you hear the speaker in the washroom? Cass was in it at one point and I was in it at one point. You should be able to hear it both times. So why can't you hear it in the washroom at McDonald's, in the washroom upstairs down the hall by this radio station, which is attached to it still, which is one that I went to because I didn't realize there was one at McDonald's, or sitting in McDonald's in their dining room area? Like, explain to me why you can't. There's some sketchy little restaurants in there. There's a Panda Express, which I don't like. There's some little stores, and then a McDonald's. Where do you think people are going to go? McDonald's. Where do you think people know what they are? McDonald's. The only seating area was pretty much in McDonald's, so obviously people were sitting in McDonald's. We get outside, we're telling her all this stuff, and she's like, well, do you have someone to come and pick you up? And we look at her and we're like, no, we don't have someone to come pick us up. Why would we be taking a Greyhound if we had someone to pick us up? We're taking a Greyhound because we don't have someone to drive us. We're from Canada, our passports are in that bus. What do you want us to do? She's like, okay, calm down, it's gonna be okay. Give me a second. So she goes on her computer, starts typing it up. She's like, okay guys, I can put you guys on the next bus. It's gonna be here at 10:30 tomorrow morning. And we're like, excuse me? 10:30 tomorrow morning? It is currently 8:30 p.m., 8:40 p.m. by now, by the time she came out. We are not waiting here for, what, 14 hours outside this bus depot place. At this point, I was like, okay, worst case, we sit inside McDonald's. Well, turns out we couldn't have done that anyways. So we're sitting there, we're freaking out. Cass is on the phone with a 1-800 number trying to contact customer service. She decides she's going to call San Bernardino to get our bags off the bus because she's like, they're going to go to Los Angeles. And I'm like, no, we're going to Anaheim. We're not going all the way to LA. We need our bags in Anaheim. But turns out that depot was closed. So there was no one to hold our bags in Anaheim. So they either had to be dropped off in LAX, or not LAX, in Los Angeles and have them in Lost and Found there, or they could be in San Bernardino. So she was going to call someone. She called San Bernardino, and they weren't answering their phone. She comes back up to us. She's like, I keep getting put on hold. No one's answering the phone. Why don't you guys try calling? I'm off at 9 anyways. We close at 9. And I'm like, okay, you close at 9, awesome. Like, but you're not leaving us. Like, you wouldn't leave us because, like, you can't do that. That's not good at all. Well, so we thought. So Taylor starts calling this number. She's on the phone with them. I'm texting my mom. My mom is in Boston. My parents are still in Boston right now. They're flying home today, but, like, this was a few days ago. So they were in Boston, different time zone. It's 8:45 p.m. there. So it's 11:45 p.m. in Boston. I'm texting my mom and I'm like, so our bus left us. She's like, where are you? I'm like, we're in Barstow, California, in the middle of nowhere. We have no idea where we are. It's hot as hell. We have no money, and there's no bus till 10:30 tomorrow. So then she wasn't really helping me. She was trying to look up stuff. She's like, there's a 2:45 one that goes out of San Bernardino, but the one's sold out. And there's one at 10:30 tomorrow morning out of Barstow. I'm like, well, neither of those options help us because we're an hour and a bit away from San Bernardino. We're like an hour and a half, and we are in Barstow, and everything is closed. So So I look, and Cassie's like, okay, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom before we leave anyways. I just decided we're taking an Uber. I already have it pulled up on my phone. I turned on my data even though my phone is on airplane mode because, like, international, it costs money, and I didn't want to spend any extra money. I ended up pulling up a Lyft, finding out how much it was, figuring all this stuff out. Taylor's on the phone, got through, as the other lady disappears. We look at the clock, it's like 9:05. We look, the doors are closed for the depot place. The lights are off inside. Everyone has gone home, and there's just us sitting outside this bus depot in the middle of nowhere with no money, no nothing, stranded in the middle of California. Like, thanks for leaving us stranded, Greyhound. Like, thanks a lot for the help. Like, you really, really helped us. So Cass on the phone with people, yelling at them, because no one is being helpful whatsoever. Everyone's being completely useless. They keep hanging up on her. They keep disconnecting her. They keep her saying they're going to transfer her to someone else or put her on hold, and they just never come back. So she keeps having to recall. Finally gets through to people. They're completely useless, saying that they're not customer service and that customer service doesn't open till 5 in the morning. Then what's their job? Sorry, but I'm pretty sure 1-800 number is to help people. Yeah. They also informed us that there was no way whatsoever to contact the bus driver. There's no direct numbers to the drivers, so it wasn't even like he could turn around or anything, or that like he could wait for us in San Bernardino, because there was no contact with them. So another thing, if you're ever on a Greyhound and you need to contact the driver, you can't, because Greyhound is stupid and doesn't have contacts with their drivers. So, you know, love that. That's just fantastic. So, you know, I feel safe about that. We're standing there.
So I'm sitting there, barbecue sauce on my titties.
Taylor is sobbing on the phone. Everyone's being useless. She's like, why can't you take her bags off in San Bernardino? Because the lady said she could. But everyone who's Taylor's talking to in San Bernardino is saying they cannot. Or that is connected to them or whatever. So I finally take the phone away from her because Taylor's not knowing what to do. She's stressing out. She's crying. Cass is yelling. And I'm like, okay, I need to take the phone. So I go over, grab the phone away from her, and I'm like, hi, I'm someone else. My friend doesn't know what she's talking about. Why can't you take our bags off in San Bernardino? We are standing in the middle of nowhere right now in California with no food, no money. I'm about to spend my own money on a Greyhound, or not on a Greyhound, not ever again. I spend my own money on an Uber to get to San Bernardino, which is going to cost me over $100 Canadian to get to the station to pick up my bags. Why can you not take the bags off? And their whole thing was, it's only a drop-off location. Okay, so explain to me why you can't take our bags off in San Bernardino. Oh, because we can't do that. Well, why can't you do that? I just kept saying, explain to me why you can't take bags off. You open up the bottom to take people's bags off when they're getting off in San Bernardino, correct? He's like, yes. And you open it up to put people's bags on when they're getting on in San Bernardino, correct? He's like, yes. So then explain to me why you cannot take 3 tiny suitcases out of the bottom while the thing is already open and put them in San Bernardino and grab the 2 bags that are sitting inside the bus and put them inside with the other ones and then have them sitting there when we get there after spending $130 Canadian to get to your station. He's like, we just can't do that. I'm like, well, why not? That doesn't make any sense to me. You're being completely useless. You're not helping me whatsoever. My friend is on the phone with people who keep hanging up on her. Why is everyone at Greyhound so useless and so stupid? You're not helping me whatsoever. This is ridiculous. He barely spoke any English. It was super, super windy out. I could barely hear him. And I'm like, just explain to me why you can't do this. This doesn't make any sense to me. He's like, here, hold on. Let me transfer you. So he transfers me to this guy named Fred, who's actually in San Bernardino. So I answer, he picks up the phone, and I start talking to him. He's like, well, slow down, start from the beginning, what's going on? Because he had no idea what was happening. So I explained to him our situation, how we were stranded here, how we're going to take an Uber there, and how the lady said she could take our bags off in San Bernardino. She just couldn't get through to you guys to get them off in the station. And he's like, yes, I can do that for you guys. Do you have the numbers? I'm like, yes, I have the numbers. I have them in my backpack, luckily, because, like, I was the one who decided to take them for some reason. So luckily, I had them with me. If they would have taken them, or they would have taken their own, I would have only had my own, or none at all. So luckily, I had, like, the baggage tag things in my suitcase, or in my backpack, I mean. So I called off the numbers, he wrote them down, and then I told him how we also had 2 bags on the inside. So he wrote down a little description on them, and he said he would take them off for us. So Fred, thank you, and bless your heart for actually following through and doing that. I was worried that he wouldn't be able to do it, or he wouldn't do it, but luckily he did. So we ended up getting our bags off. Hung up the phone with him. Cass is still on the phone with customer service. Once again, being completely useless because they weren't actually customer service. The lady's gone. We're now stranded in the middle of nowhere. What do we do now? We walk over to the Jack in the Box or whatever was across the street because that was the only place that was open, and it was only open for like another 20 minutes. I had some more live footage of me seeing the Route 66 sign because I always wanted to go there. Always wanted to come to Route 66. Never thought I'd be here fucking stranded. So we go inside the gas, or not the gas station, inside the restaurant. She goes to the washroom. She's also on the phone with her dad and the Greyhound people to try and get her dad to like call Greyhound and like figure it out, because we kept saying, well, what do you expect us to do? We don't have $200 to afford our Ubers to San Bernardino and then to Anaheim. What do you expect us to do? The lady at the Greyhound station before she left gave us a number for a taxi cab, which would be extremely expensive, and then she also told us to go to a hotel nearby and explain our situation, and maybe they would give us a cheap rate with the cash that we have. We told her we had like $20 cash. Taylor had 20, I had like 30, and Cass had like the same as $25 or something. So it's like, that's not enough to afford a hotel. So we're over in the place, ordered our lift, got in the lift. Before we could do that, when we were still on the phone, I forgot to add in this part, but it's an important part because this is where they wanted us to stay till 10:30 in the morning. So as I'm on the phone with Fred trying to explain to him, this guy walks by Taylor, or this girl walks by Taylor, asks her for drugs. Like, no lie, no nothing. Asks her flat out, do you have any drugs? Taylor is already hysterically crying, says no, freaks out, walks away. Cass is sitting next to some guy on the bench who downs half a bottle of sparkling water, opens up an entire Mickey of vodka, and pours it into the sparkling water bottle, which, like, if you have to put the whole thing in there, like, he drank most of it, and then started drinking just basically straight vodka with a tiny bit of sparkling water, and then walked away, left the bottle on the thing. So that's happened to her, and as I'm on the phone with Fred, this lady, or this man, whoever it was, this sketchy person, was digging through the garbage can, pulls out an ice cream, pulls out my McFlurry, looks at it, oh, everyone's so f***ing ridiculous. Why would you throw this out? You're too cheap to give me change, but you can throw good food like this? That's ridiculous. Takes a spoon, throws it on the ground, takes the ice cream, puts it in his bag, throws it in his bag. So, like, the ice cream's everywhere now. It was all melted, and walks away. And he's walking by me, giving me death glares. Fred's like, what? And I'm like, sorry, like, this guy's yelling at a garbage can, like, I have to go, like, just please get our bags off the bus. So that's where they wanted us to stay till 10:30 in the morning outside that sketchy place, because, you know, people are yelling at garbage cans and drinking alcohol and doing drugs, so we didn't want to sit there. Like, we have a 22-year-old and two 20-year-olds. Like, this is not safe. Sitting outside. No, like, we're not sitting in a bus stop all night. So we get in our lift. Turns out the Lyft driver that we had was the last lift, not last lift, was the only lift in all of Barstow, California. The only Lyft driver in the entire city, and he was just about to go to bed. So luckily we called him when we did, because otherwise he was going to go to sleep, and we would have had to call an Uber, which is way more expensive. So thank you for not going to sleep. I don't remember your name, but thank you for driving us there, because it was much appreciated.
Oh, and that's $200.
So finally, after like an hour and a half of driving, we get to San Bernardino, we pull in, we go up to the counter, and security walks up to us and he's like, what's up, guys? And we're like, we're the ones that came from Barstow, we got stuck, like, our suitcases are here. Fred, he took them off, and Fred walks out and he's like, guys, you made it, like, I took them off for you guys, Jessica, right? And I'm like, yeah, perfect. So he gets us our bags. He's like, do you need anything, water, a snack, like, on us, on Greyhound? Like, I got it for you. So I'm like, I could really use some water. So he gives us all water. He's like, anything else? Like, I have chips, like, I have cookies, anything. And I'm like, well, I am hungry because I threw up my McDonald's. So I got a bag of Doritos, ate those, was very, very happy. Fred is an absolute angel. He literally is an angel. He came in clutch so much, much appreciated. And he's like, I could put you guys on a Greyhound to Los Angeles right now. I'm like, is it right now? And he's like, yeah, and then you can go to Anaheim from there. Like, perfect. With the assumption of that we were going to get on a Greyhound in LA and then, or in San Bernardino, go to LA and then go to Anaheim from there on the Greyhound directly after. Well, that's not how it worked out, but we get in our Greyhound. It was really nice. Everyone was super nice to us. We get on, and the whole part of, you know how I said the head count should happen because sketchy people can't get on and, like, homeless people can't get on and all that stuff. Well, turns out there's a guy with a bus. Oh, I meant to say, there's a guy with a gun on a bus, and the lady got off at the stop and told the driver, told security. Security went on and whispered something to him. He's like, yes. And then all of a sudden you hear security, you need to get off the bus right now. And so the guy, like, walks off the bus because he had a gun with him. So the lady comes back on all frantic, and she's like, yeah, he's off the bus now. Talk to the bus driver, like, I'm okay now, I'm safe, like, don't worry, like, it's gonna be okay. But I'm like, excuse me? Like, Canada would never, like, sorry California, I love you, but, like, Canada would never do that. So that was a little freaky. So, you know, felt real safe after that. Went to LA, got off at the Greyhound there, and we thought we were getting on a bus right away. Turns out the next bus was until 7 in the morning, and it was now 12:30, and we were supposed to be in Anaheim at 9 p.m. So we're like, we're not waiting until 7 in the morning. We are getting in an Uber, and we are getting to Anaheim now. So we get off the bus, and this lady's like, I can help you guys. We're kind of like in the ghetto right now. It's kind of sketchy here. I don't want you guys just wandering around. You need to stay inside, order it, and don't go outside till it gets here. I'm like, awesome. Love that. Just got off a bus with a guy who had a gun in it after getting stranded in the middle of nowhere, and now we are in the ghetto and are unsafe. So that's awesome. We get our Uber, we get inside, we finally get to Anaheim around 1 in the morning, check in our room. Finally get to our room around 1:15 in the morning, and oh my god, we were exhausted. So I got McDonald's while they were checking in, and then we got back to the room, and we just were laughing. We thought it was the funniest thing ever. We were so out of it. We were so exhausted. I was falling asleep on the Greyhound to LA, and the lady across from me woke me up because she's like, we have to get off in a few minutes. I'd start waking up and getting yourself together. You want to get off fairly soon. Turns out the bus went on to Fresno, so if she didn't wake us up, we would have gone to Fresno, and we were not going to Fresno, nowhere near Fresno. Like, we wanted to go to Anaheim. Like, girl, we want to be in Anaheim, but girl, we were not in Anaheim. That was a disaster, and we still have to call Greyhound and fight them because there's no way in hell I am paying for both full price for my Greyhound and for those Uber rides. So they're either giving me, I want both. I want money back for those Ubers, and I also want money back from my Greyhound. I'm getting a refund, and I'm never using Greyhound in my entire life ever again. I didn't complete my trip, so I want my money back because you left me in the middle of nowhere. Why am I paying for a service that you literally didn't fulfill? So I'm very unsatisfied. So when they left the survey in Cass's email, we wanted to give them a negative rating, but you can't, so we all gave them zeros. And yeah. We think it's ridiculous that there's no contact numbers to the bus drivers. That is not only unsafe, but it's also just not good at all. Like, what if something happens? Like, you need to be able to contact the bus drivers. Not only that, they don't do a head count, which is also unsafe. Like I said, the guy with the gun was on the bus, and that could happen at the gas station. A random guy with a gun could have came on the bus, but, like, been unsafe, and something bad could have happened. Like, you see enough school shootings and enough shootings in movie theaters and enough stuff everywhere. You don't need another storyline of, you know, crazy guy shoots up Greyhound bus, kills all passengers inside. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, that doesn't need to happen. And the fact that there was someone inside the bus with one, and the fact that they don't do a head count is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's not fair. There's young people in there. I'm 20. There's children in the bus. Like, you can't have those kind of people around young children. Like, it's just not safe, and I was actually worried for my safety at one point, and that should never happen. It's a service that is supposed to be world renowned. Like, there's Greyhounds in Canada, there's Greyhounds in the US, there's Greyhounds in Australia. Like, I've never heard any issues of Greyhounds in Canada. Like, obviously there's delays and there's traffic and stuff happens, but there's nothing that I've ever heard. And, like, if it's if it's the guest's fault, if there's someone who literally is like, oh, I'm gonna go out for dinner and then be back 30 minutes later and the bus leaves, that's your own fault. But the fact that the bus driver left early, the fact that he told us we had a 35-minute break when we got on the bus, and when we got off the bus we had a 35-minute break, and that we had to be back at 8:20, and when we got back 5 minutes before the bus even was supposed to leave, it was gone, is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that 3 of us heard it and 3 of us knew it, and it was on our itinerary, is not okay. And the fact that you couldn't hear the announcement in the thing was also not okay. There's just so many things, and I'm so unsatisfied and so frustrated, and it's just absolutely ridiculous that the situation happened, and that we're now going to have a $200 charge on my credit card because we had to take a Uber after paying our money for the Greyhound. Like, I might as well have just stayed in Vegas the extra day and taken the Greyhound the next morning. Like, I don't want to be stuck in the middle of nowhere in California when I could have been in a place with my friends having fun. Like, I'm sorry, but it's absolutely ridiculous that the situation happened. So you'll be hearing from me, Greyhound. Not that you already haven't, but, like, yeah. Cass called and they didn't take her seriously, so Cass's dad is now phoning, and once you get parents involved, it's all downhill from there for the business, at least. So I understand it. The bus left early, that's one thing, but the fact that you guys left us stranded, that Greyhound decided to close up their doors and leave 3 girls stranded in the middle of nowhere without giving us, like, she didn't even come back and give us another ticket for the bus in the morning. Like, she's like, where's your ticket? And we're like, they take it when you get on the bus. Like, they take it when you go through the little security point. Like, I don't have a ticket. Our confirmation inside that bus, they took all of our stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous that she just got up and left. Why should we, like, if we didn't have access to our phones, which a lot of people don't, if I didn't have a phone, if my phone was dead, we would have been stranded there till the morning. And that's not okay at all. We had no idea where we were. We weren't from here. Like, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous, and it was so unprofessional the way things were handled. Like, the fact that people kept hanging up and that they were saying there's nothing they can do. Like, there's always something you can do. There's always someone higher up that you can call. And until you get to the very highest point, keep going. The Greyhound lady just decided to pack up and left, and I understand she was a young girl. She was probably 20 years old, just working there. That's her job. Like, she's going to college. This is her summer job, whatever. Like, she's just living her life, doing whatever she wants to do, has her AirPods in, just doing whatever. You know what? So what? If I was in her situation, I would not be leaving. I would not be going home. I would not be clocking out until I knew these 3 girls were in a safe situation. She knew we were from Canada. She knew we had no one around us. She knew we had little percentage on our phone left. She knew our charges were in there. She knew our money was in there. All she did was give us a business card for a taxi, and she gave us, said, you know, they can pick you up in San Bernardino, when they really couldn't. I think it's the most ridiculous, the most unprofessional situation I've ever been in my entire life. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. Never take a Greyhound ever again in your entire life. If you've ever taken one, I apologize that you had to go through that. If you haven't taken one, don't. If you have one booked, call them and say that you're shit and I want to cancel and get a refund. It's better to spend a little bit of extra money than be in a situation where you could be unsafe and you could be left behind. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys very, very soon in another video. Stay tuned for the vlogs coming very, very soon as well. I'm posting them on my main channel, so I'll post them on here if you want to subscribe. Stay tuned for those. But yeah, peace out. See you guys soon.